I was kind of skeptical of Talia's rework. Let's just be real. However, after playing with her, she fits my playstyle so perfectly. So I'm just gonna hop into her kit because I'm absolutely in love with Talia now.
There is a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a DC Legends video. In this video, I'm gonna go through Talia's kit, and let me make sure I got my notes over here. Okay, so we'll go through Talia's kit. After her rework, I looked at it, and I think it's like her second rework, and I was like, okay, is she any good, man? I don't know. I was skeptical from like the jump street, but now I've used her a little bit. And honestly, I'm in love with using her. I feel like I could find the right way to get her going for real. So let's just hop into her kit. Anyway, so Talia, first off on the aesthetics, I like the normal skin. I even remember the normal skin. I don't know if I like the normal skin or this one more. I'm tempted to buy the skin change, but that's 1,000 gems, so I'm not about to do that for Talia. I don't know how much I'm going to use her, despite the fact that I think that she's really great. So, on the A1, leg sweep. Damage to an enemy gain 4 evasion ups and purge 2 buffs, which is very, very Dove-like, which gives the impression of when she starts using this, if she gets ramped up well enough, she's going to be basically untouchable. And then 100% additional damage if target is bleeding. Now, there's a different legendary order that's recommended than what I took, so I'll go into that later when I get into the videos. Precision shot. Damage to an enemy, apply 4 bleeds, apply 2 additional bleeds if Talia has 1 or more evasion up. Now, whenever I see these heavy buffs or heavy whatever, like whenever their kit is unlocked by their A1, my immediate thought is Dark Side, because then you just give Dark Side all those buffs, and then they start using their A1 out of turn. And so with her, just like with Dove, if you put them both with Dark Side, then they just start using their A1 more so, giving them more evasion ups, harder for them to die. Also, same thing with using them with call assist tunes like Saint Walker, like Hippolyta, like Lex even on his A3. So there's that thought process, although you can't really control it with the last 2 I've named. With Saint Walker, you kind of can. With Dead Man, you can as well. So then always steal 2 buffs from target. I was listening to the podcast, WRL broadcast, Hate Melon Tron. What's up, fellas? And they were discussing how stealing the buffs, you might steal the wrong ones. You might end up stealing a taunt, and she is not someone who needs to have taunt on her, which is a fair thing to worry about. However, if I'm using her manually, I'm going to avoid the A2 depending on what toon is there. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not going to use the A2 on Barda if Barda only has 3 buffs. If Barda has like 80 buffs, then I will use the A2 on her. Then Blade Dance. Damage to an enemy, 75% chance to use leg sweep if target is bleeding. Of course, just run her with a bunch of bleeders. You have Red Hood, who opens up with an A3 that lays down bleeds. You have Cassandra Cain, opens up with an A2 with a bunch, AoE attack with a bunch of bleeds. Yeah, his, I think I said, did I say that right? Red Hood, A3, bunch of bleeds. You have Siren, AoE attack, bunch of bleeds. That's the ones that I'm thinking of off the bat, and I think all of those that I named are actually faster than her. So you have bleeds down before you start. Now, one thing you may think is, let me run her with Dr. Poison. I'm going to tell you why not to do that, and that's mostly because Dr. Poison wipes based on bleeds, and if you have Dr. Poison, you don't really need Talia, if that makes sense. If you can't wipe them out with Dr. Poison's AoE attack, it's probably because they have debuff immunity, so it's not really going to help you that much. Now, if you're at a lower level, like if you're mid-game, then I can see where running Dr. Poison and Talia together would work in case Dr. Poison's AoE attack can't wipe them out. Then they have a bunch of bleeds, and so then Talia can go nuts. But for me, I haven't been able to do that because, you know, Dr. Poison just kills everybody. Then Hemorrhage, passive ability. When attack misses, apply 2 bleeds to attacker, which is awesome. Also gain 50% turn meter up to 50%. Also gain 50% turn meter up. What is wrong with me reading? And then 50% chance to apply 3 bleeds to an enemy each time they get a buff on their turn, which I absolutely love as well. Then going down one more to Blood Scent, passive ability, 75% chance to gain evasion ups, 2 evasions up each time Talia applies 1 or more bleeds to an enemy. She's always applying those bleeds. At the end of an enemy turn, if they have 8+ more buffs, execute Blade Dance. So, and actually, let me go ahead and double check before I say something wrong, because this one she's not applying bleeds. On her A2, she's applying bleeds. So actually, only one of her abilities, she's applying bleeds. Only on the A2. So sorry for misspeaking on that one. She's not going to be applying, laying down a lot, which then goes back to lending her to running her with a Cassandra Cain, to running her with a Red Hood, a Siren, a Chemo, a Bizarro. Like it lends itself to that. So in this setup, I think it's pretty obvious what I'm trying to do, but we have Wonder Girl there because with Green Lantern, the entire team's gonna start off with 2 turns of debuff immunity. In order to open up the bleeds for Chemo and for Talia, I need to have Wonder Girl there to strip those buffs. You could have also used Saint Walker in that situation. So now I'm just getting into it. Not the idea behind Aquaman, of course, is to deal with Black Flash. So now we get our turn first. I will say this: I think I should have done the A3 there because the A3 on Talia can actually one-shot Spectre. I've stripped all of their debuff immunity away, laying down the bleeds with Chemo, so we can kind of open up Talia's kit. Part of the problem is, and if we go back to Bloodset, at the end of an enemy's turn, if they have 8 or more bleeds. So they don't have 8 yet. But once Talia gets going, they'll get there pretty fast. So go ahead and take out Spectre. I think Black Adam actually has enough bleeds. And this was one thing I also was paying attention to it on the podcast as well, is that in order for a character like Talia to work, if you really want her to work, this is me. I think I'm going to steal 2 buffs here. Am I going to steal 2 buffs? I might steal 2 buffs. Anyway. Oh no, just one with Lex Sweep. All right, so if you... For your play style, this does not work if you're not the kind of person who likes to stack bleeds. For me, if you don't like stacking debuffs, this is going to be hard for you to actually get down with. I'm the kind of person who loves disease and bleeds. Those are like my favorite debuffs in the game. And so Talia fits in there. If I'm trying to lay down a bunch of bleeds on a team using those characters that I named before, then Talia is going to be able to go off with Blood Scent. Also, when an attack misses Talia, apply 2 bleeds to the attacker, which is also helping get along the way of getting those bleeds on the attacker so that she can use Blade Dance later on. Later on, you'll see a video where I indicate that. Now here, we keep Wonder Girl in, we keep Aquaman because we have Terra there. Terra's going to give them a bunch of buffs, so that means that Wonder Girl is going to start cracking her whip without provocation, really. Or without having to do it actively. She's going to do it passively. So go ahead and give strength ups. That I'm thinking there more along the lines of I need those strength ups so that she hits harder. Hopefully being able to take out Spectre at some point. Let's see, do we have the A3? Yeah, she wasn't able to take him out then. Now I promise you, I did use her to take out Spectre one shot at the beginning of a battle. Promise you that. I promise you that. And that video hopefully will be here in a bit. Yeah, and in this case, what I probably should have done was go ahead and try to steal those buffs, but we have everything well in control. So let's go ahead and just get to the next video. So now this one is the one where I'm trying to run with evasions. Now, as you guys know, evasions are my favorite buff in the game. And so whenever she's going to evade, we're going to go back to her kit real quick. Oh, sorry for the little interruption, but oh, there we go. All right, so this is me trying to run her with evade and evasion kind of comp. I think Dove is going to actually be the best to run with a Dove, and then maybe Jessie Quick, just because you give those evasions up to her, and then she can actually go nuts. And I'm going to go down here real quick. When an attack misses Talia, apply 2 bleeds to the attacker. Also gain 50% turn meter up. So if you have a Black Flash, if you have a Spectre, having those evasion ups on Talia when they try to hit with their AoE attacks, automatically puts bleeds on them, giving them 2 bleeds each time, and then a 50% chance to apply 3 bleeds to each enemy when they buff. We all know how much Spectre buffs. He buffs a lot, so laying down bleeds on him is something that actually would really help in keeping him down, chipping away at him bit by bit, so even when he gets his turns, he's going to bleed out. And that's one of the points of, if you're not into stacking debuffs, if you're not into stacking bleeds, then she's not really going to work for you. That's not really going to work for your style of play. So after this battle, I'm going to go ahead and get into the DC Legends Toolkit, show you her stats. I think, and actually, if I remember this correctly, I'm looking at the time right now. This battle goes on for a hot minute. Not for any other reason than Barta takes forever. Thankfully, I have Cassandra Cain on there to give her that buff immunity, so she doesn't get that taunt and keep just ramping and ramping and ramping over and over and over again. We can stack bleeds on her with Talia and with Cassandra Cain and chip away at her slowly but surely. Plus the heal immunity from Cassandra Cain on the A2 will keep her from healing like an infinitum. You know what I mean? Is that even a word? At infinitum. I think that's a word. I think that works. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of fast forward through this because we already know Barta will take forever. See, this is, okay, yeah, all right. So this is coming towards the end of it where we have everything well in control just to prove to you that this did happen the way I said it happened. We were able to take her out. So we'll go ahead and stop it there. So now here we are, DC Legends Toolkit, and at speed, she is slow. I don't know why I expect her to be a fast toon, but she is so slow. Her HP is below average. So definitely when she's stealing those buffs, you do not want her to steal the taunt. And that is critical. Her strength is 17, which actually isn't all that bad. I did enjoy running her with Cheetah, giving her strength ups, getting her to hit a little bit harder. And then intelligence is, of course, low. She's a physical-based toon. Now, here's the thing. The legendary order went 2, 5, 4, 3, 1. I actually saved the heal immunity on the A3 last, and I kind of regret it. I wish I had taken the 3. I have her L4 right now. I wish I had taken the 3. But I'm not upset with what I have instead. I took the 100% additional damage if target is bleeding. I took the 2, always steal 2 buffs. I'm happy with those. The 3, 50% chance to apply 3 bleeds to an enemy each time they get a buff on their turn. And I have to admit, like, there's a lot of buffing in this game. So 50% chance is kind of obnoxious that there's that gate there. However, at the same time, they're going to buff a lot. Like, toons buff a lot in this game. And then at the end of the turn, an enemy's turn, if they have 8+ buffs, execute blade dance against them. Now, that might be the one where I'm kind of like meh on it. Now, it is because 8 is kind of a lot. Now, you can stack them up relatively quickly, but still at the same time, it is kind of a lot of bleeds have to stack. So I can understand where that one they have it here as legendary or second. I can understand where that would be like maybe even somewhere in the middle, second to last or something like that. Heal immunity would be nice if I'm counting on the A5, right? If I'm counting on the P2 A5 to actually use blade dance because they have 8 or more bleeds, then I would like the heal immunity on there from the A3. So that way she's doing her thing and she's giving heal immunity at the same time, and then a 75% chance for leg sweep. So I am regretting it the more and more I think about it that I didn't go in that order, just to be real about it. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and go into the next battles, and I'm going to call it a video. So let's go ahead and go see what's next. Okay, now this was me trying to run, still using the evasions, having Red Hood there to apply those bleeds on the entire team. Then we have Dove here on her A2. She gives evasion ups. You have Jessie Quick on her A2. She also gives evasion ups. So the idea is, of course, trying to get her to evade so she can go ahead and stack those bleeds on the enemy team. And boy, oh boy. Someone actually brought up why don't I ever put Harley Quinn on any of my lists. It's because she's infuriating. I can't ever rely on her the way that I would like to. And I thought about it too, and this is probably the reason why I didn't even realize it as much, but this is probably a good reason why I like Eclipso over. Man, they are really like just smacking right now. This is a reason why I like Eclipso over Harley Quinn. Eclipso on his AoE attack, he gives hit chance downs, making it harder for him to hit. Harley Quinn on her AoE, she gives intelligence downs, which means that special damage toons can't hit her as hard, but that doesn't help her evade them. So like, I was always thinking like, why is Eclipso more effective? Why is Eclipso more effective? And I realized as I was going through my free-to-play account, when I got Eclipso, I was like, oh, that's the reason. So anyway, as you can see, this pretty well in hand having to deal with Cassandra Cain. That one, that battle was kind of like just, Okay, now here. Here is where I was saying like before, I don't know, I might have cut this part out actually. This is what I was saying before about having Black Flash. I'm not really as worried about keeping Aquaman on Black Flash teams now as of late because I've found like some reasonable solutions to deal with him outside of it, and that a large part of that is having to do with evasion. If they don't have Terra on the other side, then I can hopefully evade. I put Brainiac in there so that we get that turn meter up. There you see Talia one-shot Spectre. We're giving more evasion ups through everyone there. And then when he actually does get his chance to go, Dove hits back, right? So that is why I'm kind of, I mean, of course you have to have the roster to be able to do it. But at this point, whenever I have, oh my God, Jesse just took out, what level was this team? Jesse just one-shot Azrael with like full shield and overheal. Hold on. I gotta go back and double check that really quickly. That was impressive. Yeah, he's got like 75% shield, 66% shield, overheal right now. And wow, I need to go back and see what level this team was. I mean, they weren't slouches. They were more powerful than us. Yo, Jesse Quick trying to steal the show. This video is supposed to be about Talia, Jesse. Why you got to be so jealous? Why you got to try to steal the spotlight? This is supposed to be about Talia, Jesse. Damn. Oh my goodness. I mean, Talia did one-shot Spectre. He wasn't like an RB something or another Spectre, but she did one-shot him. Yo, Jesse Quick. All right, now this is this is where I'm running Cheetah. Give those strength ups. Help Talia hit harder. We still have, I think Jesse Quick was still in there, and I think Dove was still in there. Let me just go back. Let me go ahead and see. So yeah, you have Jesse Quick still in there. You still have Dove in there. So we're going to give those evasion ups from Jesse Quick and Dove to Talia. Hopefully she'll evade and be able to give those bleeds. So and then you have Cheetah for the turn meter up. And I knew, oh, see, missed. Bleeds were applied to Black Flash. Now, I went ahead and put Jesse Quick in there, have Cheetah. We have Martian Manhunter who's going to get that 20% turn meter up on the enemy team. So I put Cheetah in there because she's going to give strength ups and that turn meter up. So the ladies are going to be able to hit harder. Evasion was already up from Jesse Quick because I opened up with the A2. So that way, when Black Flash went off, tried to hit us, he missed Talia, got bleeds applied to him. Done. That was the thought process, the opening thought process. And then you see me just go ahead and put it in auto because once Spectre's done, I got this. It's not a worry. Even if Talia falls here, which Martian Manhunter missed, she just laid down an A2 on Wow and bled him out. Laid down the A2 on Black Flash. Didn't kill him, but the bleeds did. Now she's done, but we have this all in hand. So overall, my view is that I actually really like Talia. I like using her. I don't think I've perfected the synergies of the compositions that I want to run with her, so I'm going to be using her a lot more, I think. But seeing as how evasions are opening up again, seeing as how bleeds and disease are opening up again, with Talon on the horizon, I'm pursuing him in Siege. I really think that she's going to be incredible for me in my style of play and a lot of fun to play with. So go ahead. FTP account, FTP, free to play account. Week 3 coming up next, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Then I have a mailbag coming on, and then I already put up a poll that should have already been posted where I'm asking you for questions on Riddle Me This, Dr. Zabaro, and maybe Q. They're gonna join me, and we're gonna answer your questions about DC Legends. So go ahead and put those in the poll. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way through. I drop these videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So please like, please subscribe. If you don't hit subscribe, if you don't like it, hit subscribe and hit dislike. I'm okay with that as well. Check out the Patreon for the podcast. Check out the merch store. IG for the mail bags. That's where I'm doing all the mail, or most of the mail bags, except for the, like every once in a while I'll do one here. But when I'm answering questions, it's over on IG for Reddit, for Facebook, and for YouTube. So go check that out. Thank you guys for watching all the way through, and I'll see you next time.